Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome. Let's call the May 19th, 2021 meeting to order. If you'll join me in the pledge, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Will the fiscal officer please call the roll?
All right, I see Trustee Sierra and Trustee Jessberger. I don't yet see Trustee Sword. Maybe she's logging in. Does anybody know?
I'm here.
Oh, here. Okay, you're here by voice at least. All right, and then Public Administrator, Mr. Huffman, Chief of Police.
Here.
Chief of Fire.
Here.
Superintendent of Roads.
Here.
Thank you. Our next meeting is June 2nd, 2021 at 12 p.m. I'd like to make a motion to accept the agenda with flexibility.
I'll second.
Okay, Trustee Sword, Trustee Jessberger, Trustee Sierra.
Yes. Yes.
Yes. We're on to the May 5th meeting minutes. Was there any discussion on the minutes? I'd like to make a motion to approve the May 5th, 2021 meeting minutes.
Second.
Trustee Sword, Trustee Jessberger, Trustee Sierra.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, there you are.
Okay. Fiscal officer's report.
All right, for April 1st, the township had an overall fund balance of $7,878,306.19. Revenue in the month of April was $425,260.47. Expenditures last month were $548,768.72, leaving us with an overall fund balance on April 30th of $7,759,623.49.
Questions for the fiscal officer?
Let's get a second.
Yeah, I'd like to make a motion first to accept the April fiscal report.
I'll second.
I'll just speak to last month rollback and homestead posted. So March, the big real estate posted, and then usually a month later, there's a smaller but important trickle. And the investments actually posted an $8,000 gain last month, which is better than it's done all along for a while. So those are my highlights from last month's fiscal HAPs.
Thank you. Are you ready for a roll? Looks like.
All right, Trustee Sword, Trustee Jessberger, Trustee Sierra.
Yeah. Yes.
Yes.
Trustee Jessberger, item 7.
Thank you. So I'm going to read something first. So I put EMS week on our agenda. So in 1974, President Gerald Ford authorized EMS week to celebrate EMS practitioners and the important work they do in our nation's communities. This year's theme is This is EMS, Caring for Our Communities. EMS Week is a time to thank paramedics, EMTs, and the EMS workforce for their service and sacrifices. It also serves as an opportunity for EMS to raise public awareness about the role of EMS in the community. I think it is neat how the theme for this year's EMS Week is This is EMS, Caring for Our Communities, because this is exactly what our EMS does for our township every single day. Our EMS personnel were most definitely affected by COVID-19. However, even with the unknown, our 1 unit, 2 unit, and 3 unit continued to work and continued to push through. So I would like to make a request. How am I going to say it? Hold on, I skipped a part. This resolution, if passed, acknowledges the service our Clinton Township Fire and EMS Department does for our township and residents.
Go ahead and make a motion if you want.
I'll make a motion.
to pass a resolution.
I'm sorry.
Next week. It's okay.
I'm sorry. To have Clinton Township Board adopt the resolution of expression to declare the week of May 16th through 22nd, 2021 Emergency Medical Services Week. Sorry.
I'll second.
Are we gonna have Public Works Week next month?
I actually asked Linda to see if she could find that
Yeah.
for the dates specifically, so we can make sure that we're touching on every department in our township.
Is there a chance that we could consolidate some of this? I mean, it just seems a little bit gratuitous to, just always be thanking our employees. We love our employees. We really do. We don't have morale issues. I would just really love to see a community focus rather than an employee focus. So if there's a way to, sort of singularly adopt an employee appreciation resolution, I for one would be appreciative. That's all.
I mean, that's definitely something I think we could look at. I do believe it's important to recognize each department individually, though, because they all do different things and they all have different roles within the township.
I think we do that all the time, and I just, I think the business part of the agenda could move. So.
You ready for the roll call?
Sure.
Okay, Trustee Sword.
Yes.
Trustee Jessberger.
Yes.
Trustee Sierra.
Abstention. Okay, committee reports, team reports.
Chief Rayleigh, you want to go ahead with the produce market?
Sure. So at the 14th produce market, we had 5,500 pounds of produce distributed, along with 110 families that came through. We had 125 gun locks, thanks to Clinton Township PD and Project Child Safe, that were distributed. And we also had 16 Narcan kits from Columbus React distributed that night. So again, next market is, forgive me, I can't pull up the date, not this Friday, but the following. Again, always looking for volunteers. We're still wearing masks in the building as volunteers, handing out the produce, trying to keep everyone safe, even while they're loosening up the COVID guidelines right now. We're still going to continue that. We should have more gun locks, and Columbus React will be there again also to hand out more Narcan.
Great.
So the next coming market would be May 28th. And then I believe if you're still going to have 2 in June, that would be June 11th and June 25th.
So we will be conducting 2 a month for the rest of the year.
Okay.
We're putting out the schedule 3 months in advance. So it's not typically every other week. Sometimes it misses a week. So for those that are interested, please look at either Clinton Township Facebook page, Division of Fire Facebook page, or the website to make sure you get those dates. If you go by every other week, you might show up on the wrong Friday. So.
And I recall one year around Thanksgiving, scheduling got a little hairy. So
Right.
Good caution.
Anything else, Trustee Sword?
So I am going to give an update on the Community Corridor Pollinator Project grant that we applied for. We were granted 12 native plants to put in the Keith Road Community Garden pollinator bed. So I picked those up last night. We're excited to get those in. I'm hoping to have it done before this weekend, before it looks like your tree talk. So look for those in the little tag down there. So hopefully that'll help drive some traffic to us. They will be conducting some small visits to see and document what kind of pollinators are visiting the community garden. with the new plants that are going in. It'll take them a couple of years to get really established, but it's something that pretty excited to see grow. So we'll see what stems from that.
So yeah, just a reminder too, it might be fun to map our own corridor someday, because we put in the native pollinating plants at the Sail Road Playground and the Veterans Park as well. So we've got a little bit of a distribution up there to look for something on the southern side.
Yeah, absolutely. That would be neat.
Anything else? Trustee Jesberger, did you have anything for this section?
No, not this week. Thank you though.
Thanks.
I do
So
have one more.
Oh, I'm
one more
sorry.
thing. Sorry, it just popped in my head.
No, go
So,
ahead.
for those who do frequent the Case Road Community Garden, they may have noticed that the Free Little Library has been missing since mid last summer. It was vandalized. I do have some good news, however. I was trying to come up with a recycled, more durable, less destructible solution to replace it on its post. And we have received a donation of a small mini refrigerator, like one of those dorm size apartment refrigerators. And I think we're going to convert it into the Free Little Library. So if you see a brand new black thing down there, I'm going to order some vinyl stickers for it that say Free Little Library, et cetera, et cetera. So you're wondering why there's a mini fridge on top of a post. Open it up. There will be books inside.
Well, that should last for a while. Talk about upcycling. I love it. So we have 2 tree talks coming up, one on each side of the township this Saturday and Sunday. Saturday at the West Side Playground and Sunday at the Case Road Community Garden, both at noon. The purpose of these meetings is to just get us started talking about tree planting in the township and to get some community input and ideas about where we might like to see public trees going in the future. So please join us at one or the other, whichever one you can make. And folks are always welcome to get in touch with me for more information on that if you can't make one of the tree talks.
Hey, Jane, real fast. When I had my trustee chat with a trustee on Sunday, I apologize that I cannot remember the resident's name. But she talked to Matt and I, and she has quite a few trees on her property that she is wanting to donate. So I did email Corey about that. I believe we'll be able to use Corey as more of that contact person. But just in case one of them brings it up, they had asked if it was possible to donate for this.
Yeah, I heard about that, and thanks for mentioning it. And because that makes me remember to say that Corey will be joining me at these talks too. So we'll complete that whole communication circle. Thanks.
And just to confirm, Trustee Sarah, the time is noon?
Correct. Okay. So I wanted to give it just a brief budget update. We decided at the beginning of the year to not necessarily have budget committee, but to do that as part of sort of internal but department head kind of processes. And so department heads are busy meeting with the fiscal officer and working on projections. I already emailed the board some of this information. So just for the purposes of getting the residents some information on what our process looks like, we're just sort of gearing up, getting ready for whatever the July budget how that will fall out. It's still clear from the one meeting that I've sat in so far with Chief Jones that as police expenses continue to go up, revenue unfortunately continues to decline. So I am going to recommend that the July budget contains a significant transfer to prop up that deficit. I'll give you more information as we have more meetings with individual department heads, but just preliminary to that thinking for July, sort of.
Would that be this year?
This July's budget for.
No, I mean a transfer happening this year.
No. We looked at their carryover as being sufficient for this year. And that's all I had for that section. Anybody? Okay, Mr.
Yeah,
Huffman, we're on to you.
I guess I would just interject that I know it's not my decision, but we'll stay in communication. And I guess I wouldn't agree that a 370 carryover is sufficient for police. It might be, but it's cutting it pretty close. And there'll be more time for more conversation.
Yeah, apparently you agreed last Friday in the meeting, so this is different. And we have time to set the budget. I'm just making a recommendation today from the one observation that I had. So,
Okay.
Mr. Huffman.
Thank you. I'd like to request the ability to submit a letter of support to Soul Smart on behalf of Mid-Ohio Regional Planning Commission. Soul Smart is a national program designed to recognize communities for encouraging solar energy growth by removing barriers in the process. Since we've started our sustainability committee in-house, there has been talked about solar and wind power and things on that line. Morpsey hopes to be able to submit something to Soul Smart, which will then provide free technical assistance to Morpsey members, assisting with the requirements for achieving Soul Smart designation. If this should happen, then free technical assistance to achieve designation in advanced solar in the region would be available through Morpsey. The Morpsey provided a standard letter of support to them for Morpsey to move forward with the Soul Smart. So I have completed that. I believe I've shared a copy with the trustees. And I guess would just request the approval to submit that on behalf of the township.
I'm good with that. Personally, Morpsey asks for letters of support for this or that pretty frequently, and this could be a program that we end up benefiting on in the back end if they get what they want by way of their submission.
We need a motion or?
I don't think we have in the past for just for letters.
No, I'm completely fine with it. I read it over through the email. It looks great.
Okay.
I'll get it
General agreement.
I'll get it submitted here within the next day or two.
Thanks. Anything else?
That's all I had.
Okay. I wanted to mention to everyone, because it did come up, I could have talked about this a little earlier, I guess. It did come up as a comment on the Tree Talks social media post about revisiting the land use plans. And I wanted to just say that, and thank Mr. Huffman for helping me out on that, that of course the board has already looked at, re-looked at the Cleveland Avenue streetscape. And Corey and Matt and I are actually going to take a field trip tomorrow to go out there and walk around and, you know, look at some measuring, do some things by way of preparing some recommendations for you. And also looking at the land use plan for the west side was brought up on the social media post, which I think is a great idea. So Matt and I have kind of set ourselves a task for homework to see how we're doing and do an assessment there, and then probably get that resident meeting together at some point for them soon. So I would expect to maybe announce that something about that next time, and just see where we are and regroup with where we want to go next with that piece. So I just wanted to thank you for that, Matt. Chief Fraley?
We have no new business for the board.
Thank you. Superintendent Flake?
Good afternoon, everyone. I would like to request a purchase order payable to Best Equipment Company in the amount of $12,457 for the purchase of a VeriSight Pro 60mm camera system with a locator, to be paid from Fund 2031 760-740.
So moved.
I'll second.
Any discussion? Are you ready for the roll call?
This
Okay.
is a camera system that would be used for looking like at drainage, things like that.
Yes, this is actually the same camera system that the Franklin County engineers use whenever they come out to help us inspect the drain system.
Perfect. All right. So that would save us a step with figuring out where problems exist versus getting them fixed a lot quicker.
Yes, it will.
Awesome. Perfect. Thank you.
And getting more data into iWorks.
Yeah.
It's so much better than waiting to see the flood. So,
Yeah.
well, good job. All right. Trustee Sword, Trustee Jessberger, Trustee Sierra.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. Is that everything, Corey?
Yeah, that's all that I have.
Okay. And so Chief Jones.
There we go. I'd like to ask for flexibility starting out. Just this afternoon, received an email from Watershed Distillery. They are going to have their annual outdoor event on Sunday, June 27th at 1145 Chesapeake Avenue. And they've asked for a request to close their road for that date from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. So I would like a motion to request board approval for a road closure of 1145 Chesapeake Avenue on June 27th, 11 a.m. to 5 p.m.
So moved.
I'll second.
Okay. Trustee Sword, Trustee Jessberger, Trustee Sierra.
Yes.
Next, I'd like to request a motion to surplus our 2010 Acura VIN number 19UU8F5XAA011956 on Gov Deals as vehicle is no longer needed.
So moved.
I'll second.
Trustee Sword, Trustee Jessberger, Trustee Sierra.
Yes.
Next, I'd like to request a motion to promote Officer Jamie Burr to the position of Sergeant at Step 2 of the bargaining agreement. Just for some background, Jamie's been in an acting capacity since October of 2020, supervising the evening shift. And I would like to put him at Step 2, starting that process.
Motion to promote Jamie Burr to the position of Sergeant at Step 2 of the bargaining agreement.
I'll second.
Trustee Sword, Trustee Jessberger, Trustee Sierra.
Yeah.
Yes.
And just to clarify, we would make that effective this date. Next, I have a request motion to promote Joe McCoy to the position of Lieutenant at Step 1 of the bargaining agreement. And that would also be effective this date. And
I'm jumping in there early. So moved.
I'll second.
Go ahead, Mike.
Just for background, Joe McCoy's been with the township, started his career here in 1998.
Okay. Trustee Sword, Trustee Jessberger, Trustee Sierra.
Yes.
Yes.
Our congratulations to Sergeant Burr and Lieutenant McCoy.
Absolutely.
And that's all I have. Thank you.
Chief, okay, we are to appreciations.
I'd just like to shout out appreciation to one of our newest members that came back from the state of Washington, Matt Lease, helped out at the food drive doing our part with the gun locks and child safe, working with the fire department and the chat folks last Friday.
Gun locks were a big hit. Very much needed, so we appreciate it.
Trustee Sword, was there any motion when you brought that to the chat, that idea of working with a 5031C to get?
You know, we meet once a month. I did mention it. I haven't gotten any email correspondence back and forth. I can reach out to our chat coordinator through Franklin County Public Health and see if we have any other leads, but
Okay. Oh,
nothing
thanks.
as of yet.
Just curious. Thanks. Okay, other items, it looks like. I have just wanted to remind folks that the Northwest Corridor information sessions are tomorrow at, I believe they are noon and 6. There's a link to pre-register if you haven't already done so. I just want to let Westside residents especially know that some of the current suggested things in the very drafty plan affect really multiple places on the west side. This is not just a Kenny and Kinnear situation. So you may want to just take a look. And again, you know, keep in mind that they're still drafting and planning, but it seems like a great idea for, you know, our residents to show up and let people know what we'd like to see over there. So noon and 6 tomorrow. With that, I'd like to make a motion to enter an executive session pursuant to ORC 121.22G to discuss the appointment, employment, promotion, or compensation of public employees. Is there a second?
I'll second. Sorry.
Thank you.
Trustee Sword, Trustee Jesberger, Trustee Sierra.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, see you over on Teams. Okay, looks like we are back in session at 1:06. I would like to make a motion to increase code compliance officer Jonathan O'Connor's pay by 2.25% effective 1/23/21 payroll.
I'll second.
You said 2.25%,
Yeah, 2.25. Yep,
effective 1/23. Okay.
correct.
And Alina seconded that.
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
Trustee Sword, Trustee Jesberger, Trustee Sierra.
Yes.
Yes.
Right.
I'd like to make another motion to raise Chief Brian Fraley's salary by 2% effective January 1st, 2021.
I'll second.
Trustee Sword, Trustee Jesberger, Trustee Sierra.
Yes.
And finally, a motion to raise Chief Mike Jones's salary by 2% effective January 1st, 2021.
I'll second.
Okay, Trustee Sword, Trustee Jesberger, Trustee Sierra.
Yes.
Yes. With that, I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
All right, enjoy
Thanks,
the weather,
everyone.
everybody.
Yes, it's beautiful.
See you next time.
See ya.
All right.